What is going on, Rolling Empire? Here, guys, to give you a video. WandaVision episode 4 has come out. You know, if you stuck along with this series, these few episodes, you know what kind of interesting ride this series has been leading into. You know, like I've said before, this is a thing where you had to kind of commit your allegiance to Marvel. Know how Disney Plus has done the plan outs. You know, if you like Marvel, you know, why would you kind of question this in a point? But also, it's reasonable that this isn't maybe a certain thing you cater to, and maybe you're not used to this format. But it's not like anybody's wrong. Everybody's right in their own mindful way. But for me, I personally have enjoyed it, and I realized that there isn't enough for me. Like, I like the kind of styles that the show was picking for its certain callbacks. The callbacks it has. I said before, some of the plot lines used for that were more fun than others. I enjoyed them in that. But over the context of what the Marvel plot is, I know it was leading to something. I wish we had more of a revelation, but we did get kind of enough in episode 3, so there's a certain payoff to that. But how is episode 4 gonna be now? It really showed. I said I couldn't wait to see where it goes, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Really was the statement of what went on. It's like this one finally, spoilers if spoilers, guys. Whatever. Do you have to have seen it. I'm just gonna talk about it however I want, but it shows a bit. You realizing what's going on, and and you realize, okay, Endgame's going on. That's what it is. But it took me a second. It took me a second to realize. But this one really give the context of, like, if you know what the Marvel shows are gonna be, because most of the time it's just gonna be kind of like a Falcon Winter Soldier esque. Yeah, if you understand what the Falcon Winter Soldier esque of this, it's gonna be that vibe. And this kind of episode did show that, and it showed with the Rambo person, it came from Captain Marvel, well, how she is now in Endgame, and you kind of give me an understanding and context of who she is, and kind of getting a better perspective of how she's going to serve the purpose. She goes in contact with the Agent Wu guy, which I kind of figured, and with the trailers, that's who it was that was trying to contact Wanda and all that. So it made sense. So it's nice to know that first she's trying to have to get used to adapting back to the real world, but then now this is kind of what lets her, since she needs to stay into Earth. Now it's funny to think how much this universe has gone, but she has to stick to Earth and realize that she needs to stay here just to see what's going on here. And you think it's going to be a boring mission, I guess, but who would have thought she gets the mission that she has? And it just that just works. That it makes sense. And you would say that it's funny how they're getting all these kind of characters. You think it makes the universe kind of small, but you know what, it's as grand as it is. I would take it because it's well been paid off. It's mostly of the time it's well been paid off. So you get what's the sense is more of also how this town works, and they're like, okay, why are these people kind of responding the way they are? If it's an obvious way, it's being seen the other way. So there might be manipulations going on within the perimeter. Wu's explained how they all tried, but they couldn't see what's going on with the town. And it shows how Rambo has gone in and out. It gives a bit of the recap of how it was very unique, especially in episode 3, how everything was revealing. Everything was revealing, and then she comes back and they realize maybe Wanda's the one that's doing everything. And then within all that, you also get Darcy. Darcy coming in, so that's another character. Talks to Wu too. Within that's what brings in the TVs that you've seen. The TVs of why how they have to check what Wanda's doing and all in Vision, and that's kind of, it's adding the pieces. You get the beekeeper guy too. You get all these kind of props that goes on that also, if you knew as little tidbits, little Easter eggs within the first 3 episodes, it pays off in episode 4. And then it's funny because then there's also reactions of, like, it's like they're seeing the 3 episodes that we saw, then the revelation that went on with the third was kind of very meta, and now episode 4, it's like more of a catching up. So everything has to kind of stay for a second how it is. Might call it generic, but I liked it. It was in a way nice way that now you can see all 3 episodes again, and then this one kind of adds it up. So it is interesting a way how the 4 episodes will work as a rewatchability. But as the time just goes on, I like how this reveal is going on. So these 4, curious to know how they're going to make the next 5. But at the time being, since this is sort of the middle ground now, this is where we need to catch up and realize, okay, if you stood around, these are the payoffs, and definitely there's the payoffs, and it shows. It's like, you see, like, if you want to do the investment, because it's not like you're being force. Force is not really a thing. But if you care, then you will get the rewards, and most of the time you understood. Okay, then that's why they showed, you know, those kind of like when Wanda has the unexpected kind of turns, but then she tries to fix everything in her own way, and how the people like Darcy and Wu are seeing it from outside, and then us knowing as an audience what really is going on, and even with us being the audience at the end with Wanda giving more of a story, how this looks like it is her universe kind of thing. Now I'm curious to know, like, really, like, how are Darcy, Wu, and all these kind of characters gonna get them to come out and everything, and this how does you ask how's this gonna lead into the multiverse? Yeah, the multiverse madness, and eventually with Spider-Man. So everything is all working as planned with the building blocks. These are all building blocks. But now this was the episode that showed that you're like, okay, this is what if like Mandalorian, okay, Mandalorian is the one that's been established this, so WandaVision has to do the follow up. Like now, if you really are hooked episodically, this was one that was like, I can't wait to tune in again. But we'll see how it works. Like now, will we get a few more episodes of what goes on with them, and then after that, go back to the real world and all, seeing how we now know more. How does this lead to? And you expect for it to be played out like this. But yeah, it's all about just patience. I get it. Patience is a way, how you have to deal with these kind of situations, and it just all depends if it really worked for you now. But I liked it. And it was unique that for WandaVision, they had the least screen time, but that kind of gives it that mystery. I like that, the mystery that it has. And then at the end, it pays off with the realization of what they really are thinking. And then it was nice to get the perspective of Rambo and Darcy and Wu's side of the story. Just kind of give it, seeing it from a unique, creepy, maybe not creepy kind of way. An interesting look of how this whole show really is shaping and stuff. And This is an interesting one. We'll see. We will see how this goes, guys. Let me know, guys, if you haven't been on board or if you're on board, if you enjoy the series. How's this just going? How's it really going, for you guys? Again, like always, these are my thoughts and opinions. This episode was better. This was really for me better, and it's interesting. It's really interesting to see, like, I can't wait to see how this goes and all. So, all this in the comments below. And as always, roll an empire, laugh, smile, repeat.